Oh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Returners Hideout number 338, a Cavernous Chill. We are back. We are back. Happy Wednesday. It is good to see you guys. It is good to be here. RBX Sire, good morning across the pond, around the globe. How are you doing? Alright, let's see what we've got here. We've got 12 gamers, a lot of awesome, interesting matchups. Round one, but I think I gotta go check out the American Muscle after his triumphant return from his own world tour. Let's bring this down a little here. Bring this down a little here. There we go. Let's go watch the old American Muscle versus Greg, man. Oh my god, these guys are off to the races. They're already way deep. Let me jump in here. Alright, this is a Wind Lightning from Greg on the bottom, and what is this, a Mono Lightning or something from Irving up top? I'm not sure. So on the bottom, let's see. Greg. Oh, excuse me, guys. Greg is on the bottom. And then we've got Irving. Yeah, look at that. That's my Arden spoiler from like 2 sets ago. So this is almost certainly a Mono Lightning build. Since that Arden, he, reveals the top card of your deck and is looking for a lightning card to get his payoff. Right, let's get these names updated. There we go. Okay. See, this is mostly mono win, but then, you get the Moogle 11 and normal mono win / Final Fantasy 10 kind of angles, and then all of a sudden, whoa, there's a Barrel Eyes stuck in here. Black Cat. Each player may play a character across 3 less from their hand on the field. Very interesting. What are you up to, Greg? And then, of course, on Irving's side of the table, it just looks more like a little bit of a mono lightning, although he is, there's some minor crystal angle here. We are playing the red mage who generates a crystal. I'm sure for some reason. Rosa, yeah, so this is definitely a cast deck. It's probably mostly a normal wind cast deck, but the lightning angle is interesting. I mean, we've seen the Ramu. I assume Cloud is in the deck, right? The Lightning, Wind, Cloud, one of the best reasons to go into the color combination, especially with like the Arid LB, sets it up so nicely. Oh, interesting, Seymour. I'm a little curious about the other Lightning inclusions here. Like, we've seen a Ramu. The Seymour is another Final Fantasy 10 card, so it's Barrel Eyes, so interesting. Buddy has cool synergies with them. He can go and search for a Final Fantasy 10 backup so he can get you those lightning backups. Easy peasy. Alright, so that was cast 3, so Rosa is going to activate all these characters here. We're gonna just continue the efficient turn here. I don't think we're going for like a Luso or anything. Maybe we're just trying to get the... We're just playing out a bunch of efficient things. They're going to try to trigger a cast 5 just to see if we can play another something for free, dude. Alright, so we moved Ramu back to our hand, and this Ramu is really just about kind of closing things out. Like you dull a guy, you haste one of your own guys, or you can choose a forward and deal a 5,000 damage. But we're usually picking the other modes. We're picking like dull that blocker, haste my guy, and it's like really good at closing out a game. Or you can 5k a forward, dull another forward, and then block the 5k forward for like a defensive Ramu. But normally we're seeing that one kind of on the attack. Now we do have X Death in here. Well, just more like good card, purple card. Oh no, sorry, that's actually Irving's discard pile. Yeah, Irving having good card, purple cards makes a lot of sense. His deck is literally just good card, purple cards deck. I'm more interested in which lightning inclusions are actually in this Final Fantasy X deck. So we did, he did of course play that 5th card. It was the Emperor. He revealed the top card of his deck. It was Stiltskin, because of course it was. And we passed the turn to Irving. So we did our 5-cast turn. We just built this big old board down to 2 cards in our hand, but we do feel like we kind of just put it all on the table. Irving's probably just going to comfortably remove a few forwards here with Lightning's abilities, as Lightning is so good at doing, just picking off a few guys and removing them. Starting off with an Aranea, he's going to reveal the top card of his deck, and it is a King of Burmecia, so he's going to add that right to his hand. Probably doing new Kane stuff, but there's a lot of really interesting Dragoons these days, honestly. King of Burmecia's stonks just keep going up. Ooh, the Emperor LB is going to get hit with Arden here. So let's talk about Arden, because he's a big piece of a deck like this. So the Aranea and the Arden both, right? When Aranea enters the field, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's Lightning, add it to your hand. Then Arden, when a forward opponent controls, is put from the field into the break zone from the field. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a Lightning card, add it to your hand. And when Arden enters the field, you choose a forward and you break it. So he enters the field, we chose a forward, we broke the Emperor. Then, wouldn't you know it, we get to reveal the top card of our deck. And, oh, howdy, it's an Odin. So we're going to move that to our hand. Then, looks like we are pitching Odin and X-Death for a Limit Break card. Probably Cloud on either the Citra or the Lulu. I'd be surprised if we chose the Rose and just let him pay 1 to stop it. It's probably going to be one of the others. Yeah, we're just going to pick that Lulu off there with Cloud. And when that card goes to the break zone, we get to trigger Arden. Which I love that about Arden. So Arden is not once a turn. So, of course, that forward is put from the field to the break zone. So we reveal the top card of the deck again. It is a Ninja, so we'll add that to our hand. That's a second crystal generating card. So we've seen stuff that cares about crystals from Irving. Have we seen any reason yet? No, not yet. A lot of removal, a lot of good cards, a lot of EX stuff here in this Mono Lightning deck. And that Arden is kind of annoying, because you gotta now get rid of this dude who you don't really care to attack. Like, I don't want to spend removal on a 9k that's 7 CP. You know, really the Alexander will do it, but anything else is inefficient. And then, you know, meanwhile, we're just getting cards with every single time he kills one of your guys. It's a 2-for-1 at least, and so you really can't just let that keep happening. You know, the first few of them are just kind of paying for the Arden, but after that, once it's just pure advantage, like, you really just can't let that go on. So we're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to address the Arden in the room. Mog 11 using Retrieve to go find a little something out of his deck. Interesting. Let me pull up the names a little bit here so you guys can see cards in hand and such, because it's A little spicy. Ooh, I got somebody at my door, guys. I'm so sorry. I will be right back. No, no, no. Don't worry about them. I'm not worried about them. These guys are adults. They know how to entertain themselves. Alright, I'm back. I'm back, chat. What did we miss? Have things been absolutely wild and crazy here? It looks like I didn't miss much at all. Hydrate! Hydrate! Okay, Mom, thank you. I appreciate you. One moment. I don't have a water. I don't have a water. I'm gonna go get a water real fast. See, and this is where it's good. When I don't have water and you make me go get one, that's when this is really helpful. Water. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Okay, I've got my water. Mohammed, thank you. I'm taking my sippa, my big dranka. That's probably good for me, man. I need to drink more water. I somehow need you to can I give you the ability to redeem hydrates, but they just like go right to my phone? So I get like a little bzz, like, oh shit, you should be drinking some water right now. Bzz. I'm like, oh, even though it's not Wednesday, these guys are so on top of keeping me healthy, man. I feel like I have like an obligation I must fulfill to you, so we gotta go get it. We can't like pretend we have water. We have to go get up and go get water. Alright, thank you, Muhammad. I appreciate you. Look at him, dude. Taking care of me. Taking care of me. That's a buddy. Okay, where are we at here? So, it looks like we had, obviously this Arden, I think it's the same Arden. It looks like he's been sticking around. He's been a little difficult for Greg to remove. I mean, Greg is looking for one of those Alexanders. Yeah, I don't see one here in the discard pile. Of course, there's the Cloud. That is definitely one of the reasons we're dipping into laning here. That's the wrong Alexander, but it is an Alexander nonetheless. I'm good for at least 210 more hydrates, and that's the only thing I use my points for. Look, man, thankfully I've got you well supplied to keep me nice and healthy. Excellent. Yeah, actually, excellent. We love that. Thank you for your service. Whoop! What's going on, Mr. Brett? Oh no, this cloud did it, man. Alright, so well, we do have so many EXs in our deck. Look, we've even got Liber Chris here. We've got another Arden that popped off. So Liber just lets us get a card back. Arden lets us draw a card for free. So it does give us a little bit of a refill here. But man, first of all, Lightning has a little bit of difficulty just spot removing monsters when they're not forwards yet. So we got the Cerberus just chilling here. Then Cloud and Zidane. We have to stop all of it, man. We're at 6 damage. We need to remove these forwards and present blockers. It's a lot to ask with not a lot of cards in hand. Irving has drawn so many more cards. It's interesting to see. He's got 15 cards left in his deck to Greg's 23. How many cards Irving has drawn additionally, right, thanks to things like the Arden and the Arnea. However, still really just not, you know, the thing about these lightning decks is all this removal and stuff is very reactive. So you could react to what your opponent has on the table, and but then you just kind of are sitting around letting them do whatever they want to you the next turn. And, you know, Cloud and all this stuff is a pretty easy, efficient way to remove some expensive guys. And then you're sitting there thinking, okay, well, I did get some cards back from my Arden, but I can't really afford to just, like, play another one of these big dumb Ardens. Unfortunately, these things are expensive, right? So when you've got 3 cards in hand, 4 backups, so you're trying to make 2 to 3 things happen, Arden just makes it really difficult, because even though he does give you a card back, you know, you're having to get rid of 3 of the 4 cards in your hand, you know, tap 3, pitch 2, and then play the Arden, so you have 1 card left. Yeah, Arden's going to give you back a card, but it's basically going to put you in top deck mode immediately, and you maybe won't even draw something that lets you do what you need to do. So we do have this Odin here. We have 5 more lightning characters, so we're able to break the Zidane and draw a card. But yeah, man, it puts us in a really tough spot, because again, we know that the card that Irving just drew off the top of his deck was a literal top deck. We have Cerberus, which is able to attack as long as we've cast 2 or more cards this turn. Irving kind of sitting over there like, well, I sure hope this wind lightning deck can't cast 2 cards this turn. Greg is over there just like, I think I just have to cast 2 cards this turn. So we're going to see how it shakes out here, but I think this is going to pretty much be Greg's game. Rough opening hand turned into a 6-7 loss. Classy with how close I got it. I'll tell you, first of all, sometimes those games are some of the best practice, right? Because you don't really learn a lot from winning and getting your perfect opening every time, right? You learn a lot more from getting an opening that you're like, oh shit, I've never had to deal with this before, and then navigating your way through it to the other side. And yeah, maybe you didn't get a win, but I think you will be more comfortable the next time that you're in a position like that. And who knows, maybe next time you will get the win. Are sub celebrations still turned off from the Materia Cup? That is a wonderful question. My alert box may be off, but I don't think so. No, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. Because I switched to a different oh, there you go. Thank you, Tyler. I was gonna say I switched to a different scene collection entirely for the Materia Cup. Usually. And in the post-game chatter here, you see Greg and Irving discussing with each other the game, and Greg just says there were so many juicy Cloud targets, which is pretty funny, because that is what we were talking about, dude. The reason to go into that little lightning splash is mostly just access to this Cloud. Very, very powerful when he gets 2 guys to remove. And some gentlemanly good luck on your next games here from the 2. What's a storm without a little lightning? Oh, I'll tell you what, brother. Go Canes. Go Canes. I appreciate your Carolina Hurricanes deck. Clearly promoting the Stanley Cup run of the North Carolina hockey team. I will say, though, Mr. Brett, that I don't really know I definitely don't have like good sub stuff set up for YouTube. So if you were trying to do something over there on the YouTube side and you didn't see it come up, like, I apologize. I'm kind of behind the ball on getting all the YouTube stuff squared away. It's right now we have like a technically functional presence on YouTube, which is better than not having one. I definitely know what you're talking about, 100%, and I agree. Excellent, dude. That's what I love to hear. Raleigh, North Carolina, where I live, you know this. You're with me so far, right? You're following along. They only have one professional sports team. And they smack the vulcanized rubber puck, you know, around the ice slab. And they're really good at hitting the puck around on the ice slab. They are in fact in the finals for the Slide the Rock Around on the Ice Slab Championship. You did it on Twitch. Well, brother, for whatever it's worth, the only thing I've got in my feed here is from this week, from now, today, is Tyler from 3 minutes ago. So I don't know, maybe something didn't do its thing, maybe. I hear Colorado's got a good one of those. Ooh, not good enough, unfortunately. Colorado was supposed to have maybe the best one of those this year, but then they got kind of... They got swept by the Las Vegas Knights. So now it is the Vegas Knights versus the Carolina Hurricanes. Go Canes. Game 5 is Thursday, damn right. We were at the Lenovo Center last night, dude. Doing our thing. Alright. Table 3 is what we just watched. Oh no, that's their Xavier. Is not. Sorry, sometimes I get Drag Savior and Dragoon XI. It's Drag Savior X and Dragoon XIX. Sometimes I get the old stream crossed. Alright, table 3. Let's see what Xavier's up to. Xavier, knock knock, I'm coming in. I'm coming in your room, honey. What's going on in here? Oh, is this another Mono Lightning gamer? Oh, well, it is Dragoons. Oh, this must be Armando. It sure is. Armando is playing Dragoons here. I love when people have a little bit of a a little bit of a signature, dude. He is playing Dragoons here, as he has been for a number of weeks now. And on the other side of the table, looks like Xavier's playing the Ice Wind deck. The Ice Wind deck that is made popular by old Josh Herman here in North Carolina. Won our Raleigh Materia Cup. Alrighty. Freya, dude. Hell yeah, using her S ability. Dragon's Crest. Dude, so I think this Freya, yeah, we like the other Freya, right? Yeah, we love Cherry Blossom. We love board wiping our opponent. One-sided board wipes, mwah, chef's kiss, beautiful, incredible, right? But what about when we don't want to use that Freya? What about when our opponent's playing one or two big, scary dudes at a time, and they don't have a big wide board, they're not playing into a Cherry Blossom? Well, we don't really want to play out our super easy to remove 5k power 3 CP forward that does not get anything back when it enters the field. No, no, no. we want to save those for the board wipes, or we at least want to use them to get a kill, right? So since using that to kill a single thing is really inefficient, we actually have the blessing of this other Freya card. No longer just piles of Freyas for S fodder. There is another playable Freya in Dragoons now for a minute since the Opus 26, I believe, was it? Yeah, Opus 26 release of this Freya. And this Freya, of course, when she enters the field, or sorry, when she attacks, rather, she has haste, so it often happens when she enters the field. But when she attacks, she just gets to point at somebody and kill them, basically. You choose a forward and deal 2,000 damage for each Dragoon you control. In Dragoons, wouldn't you know it, that's always quite a few characters. Even if the Freya was killed on attack and there were no forwards, it would still be 8,000 damage. But here we're looking at 8, 10, 12k the Freya is able to do every time she attacks. So she's actually this consistent removal piece without having to invest S copies, although she does also have a little S here that you can use to kill another forward as well. So she's better at single target removal, and is a really nice thing to have on the field right now, where basically if your opponent plays anything into it, they have to deal with the Freya first, so she's going to be able to turn sideways and deal with the biggest threat every turn. Did I hear someone say Dragon Quest? Did I, dude? Maybe Dragoon Quest? Carolina, throw your hands up. That's right, dude. They literally have the PD Pablo raise up, like it says raise up on the Jumbotron, and they have everybody getting up out of their seats and just popping off, dude. Of course they do. While it blasts up, North Carolina. I said Dragoon's Crest. Oh, that's fair, yeah. Dragon's Crest. Yes. That's okay, okay. Dragon's Crest, Dragon Quest. I see you. Totally fair. You know what? Actually, looking at just these crystals on the table here, I realized we never really got to see what, we didn't get to see whatever Irving's deck was doing with crystals, because it did have 2 different backups that generate them. Probably like a single dude that spends them for something, but we didn't get to see whoever or whatever it was. Yeah, this is a tough board. I mean, you need Vaughn for this, right? I think all these guys are 8Ks. Yeah, nice and wipeable. You need a Vaughn. You've already got 3 of your crystals here. Vaughn does it. Vaughn is the 4th crystal, which is the wipe. If you're worried that the opponent has like the Freya S in response because 1 lightning is up and there's 2 cards in their hand, generating a crystal and then playing Vaughn is what you're going to have to do. You've got 4 cards in your hand, so if you do have a Vaughn, almost certainly we're going to be able to do that. Also, Sid, you can just put Sid in the break zone and play category 7 forward or 5 rolls from the hand for free. So we got a little Star Civil action here. If we wanted to crack him, we can play Kadaj, get 2 more crystals, and then boom, tap tap pitch for Vaughn. So if we do have those cards, we're at least able to play them. I think it's more a case of whether or not we have those cards. Oh, wait, no. Oh. We need the PD Pablo wrap snacks? For sure we do. For sure we do. North Carolina. Raise up. Oh my goodness, guys. Hey, I know that this is not a Nintendo-focused stream, but how about that Direct, dog? Look, I'm the kind of freak that's playing Star Fox 64 all the time randomly anyway. Like, literally, I'll just do a run. Just do a quick run. So, I love the fact, dude, I was like, oh, I bet they put a demo on the shop today, and they sure did, and I've sure played Meteo like 10 times, dude. Man. I mean, it handles exactly, like, you're always worried with a remake or something if it handles mechanically exactly the way that it should, and it definitely does perfectly. So I'm very excited about that. How about that Direct? Yeah, dude. Excited for Fire Emblem in 3 months? Yeah, look, I love Fire Emblem, and I'm kind of like, I guess cautiously optimistic is maybe the phrase I'll use. I don't know, man. They keep taking it in this weird direction. But Fire Emblem is always a good time. Yeah, I agree with that, Greg. The new Xenoblade looks really cool. I'm also, dude, God, I guess this is making me sound, maybe talking about this Direct is actually making me sound like a huge hater. I don't really like, I only played Xenoblade 2, and it was so insufferable I can't imagine ever firing up another one of them without like 10 people telling me I absolutely have to do it. Getting FFBE as a single-player game is pretty cool. I mean, it's just neat that it's neat for so many reasons. It's cool that they're doing a Final Fantasy game in 2D HD. Now, I know that it's like Final Fantasy game with an asterisk at the end of it. I get you. I agree with you, right? But it's still more of a Final Fantasy game than Octopath Traveler. I think it's awesome that they're getting to recycle like all of those cool cutscenes and all of the cool pixel art and a lot of that work that was done for that game. I love that it's coming back in a way that people can kind of enjoy it forever. I think it's really neat that they're preserving like the story of this game because it was totally unique to that mobile game. So I think that's neat. I think it's cool. I hope that they do that more with other games. You know, I hope that that's a trend we see continue, that they believe that the story in those games should be preserved in some way. Now, see, this is... well, that's exactly what happens, right? Is look, all of a sudden, chat, Irving says, now we just need War of the Visions. Greg says, now we just need Opera Omnia remake. And it's like, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, that's what starts to happen is everybody goes, oh, well, I had this game that I miss, and I would like that to be remade. And yeah, hopefully they do get to all those games. I think that'd be cool. Rebuilding it from the ground up, yeah, is a good idea. Is definitely a good idea. Octopath Traveler 0 proved the idea works. I feel like this is a little more, right? This is a little bit more of a different game. Like the battle system and stuff are like totally new and not related to the way they work in FFB. And then Octopath Traveler 0 was more of like a ported thing, even though they did have to tweak it. It was less like a new build. But maybe I'm wrong about that too. Who is ready for Nintendo Switch Sports Resort? Look, I bought Nintendo Switch Sports, and I had like a week of fun with it. And I kind of just realized that I don't live in a world where I'm gonna sit there and play Nintendo Sports anymore, or Wii Sports, or whatever sports. So yeah, like it's cool. I don't really live in like a home with kids who I would imagine. I'm not saying it's only for kids. I'm saying I would have a lot of fun playing it with kids, you know, like my kids or something like that. I would have a ball playing it with my kids or with like a house full of homies. But like Me and my one roommate are not gonna sit there and go head to head and like in Swish Sports Resort. Although I do want to thumb wrestle. Goodness, man, do I want to spend a bunch of money to thumb wrestle on the Switch too? I wonder how they will handle the Visions. Hopefully, it's not a bunch of DLCs. Yeah, I don't think any of it is like paid DLC. I'm pretty sure they are not trying to turn it into like a mobile gacha thing. I mean, hopefully not. Maybe I hope I don't have to eat my words on that one. Mario Tennis. Tennis is always a good time. Oh, this game is over, dude. I'm not even paying attention. There should be all of the rounds in. Let's go take a peek, Ski. Is pod racing considered a sport? Dude, the Star Wars racing game comes out in like what, August or something like that? Or October? I feel like it keeps having trailers that make me feel like it's like out today, but it's actually not coming out until like the end of the year. Now that's one that where the meme ability is just so high, I might get it. Alright, results. Table 5, June took a 7-6 over Pat. At Table 2, Richie took a 7-6 over Connor. At Table 4, Key took a 7-3 over Kurt. At Table 3, Armando took a 7-4 over Xavier. At Table 6, Tyler took a 7-1 over Anthony. And at Table 1, Greg took it 7-1 over Irving. Alright. Moving into the next round here. Alright, gamers, pairings are going up. I'll be on the boxing full sweat mode against little kids. Take that and don't get up. Tried a new deck tonight, got rolled by Army of Cain. Dude, I will say, Key is doing that thing I love, where he just is going through the results from the previous events, and he just looks at the decks that have been doing well or succeeding that he hasn't played or tried before, and he's taking advantage of the fact that he's playing in this digital event, and just loading up those decks as they are right from those listings. Just like, yeah, let me just play this to understand it. Let me just play this to kind of see what's going on here. You're in the brew mode right now, Greg. All right, dude. I love that. We're cooking. We're cooking. Yeah, same, Tyler, for sure. Sometimes I can't help myself but noodle, dude. Sometimes you guys just stop noodling, but I just can't not. I just can't not. All right, there are the pairings for you folks, you ravenous gamers. Bringing you such hits as Water, Wind, Viking, Storm. Absolutely. What a gamer. Shibba da boop, shibba da boop. My favorite thing is sitting across the table from someone who knows me and their face just sinks and they're like, okay, let's see the bullshit. That was last Sunday as you turn one Golbez comboed me. There you go, dude. Making friends out there, you know? Just making friends. Alright, let's jump into a table here. Let's gain a game on the screen, huh? Table 1 is Dragoons. Let's go to table 2. Speaking of the bullshit, dude, let's see what Tyler's cooking this week. Tyler versus June today. Table 2, let's see that for round 2. Here we go, live in game. Shoutouts to the person who wanted to know my deep dark secrets for the playlist for stream. A magician never tells. Except I responded to them with exactly what I do. Because I'm not a magician. Alright, let's see what we've got here. June on the left and Tyler on the right. Tyler is doing some kind of ice earth. And June is doing something with a flowering cactoid in it, so could be anything. Ice Earth Crystals, wouldn't hate to see it. That's where I started actually with crystal stuff this set. One of the first few decks I was playing the first few weeks at locals was like an Ice Earth Crystals deck. Jesse lets you go find all the remnants, which is cute. You know, some Cryle lets you go find Barts. There's a lot of interesting little reasons that Earth is fun. Let's see. Let's get. Oh, Multicolor Zidane. I don't know where we're at on this deck here from June. Oh, baby. June and Tyler. My brain is pudding, dude. My brain is pistachio pudding today. Great. Here we go. There we go. Oh, baby. What happened? How did we get on a Persona, dude? I mean, damn, Color Your Night is a banger, but we can't be doing this. I'm gonna get... They're gonna come and take me stream away. They're gonna take me stream away. Hold on, we gotta click off before Lotus Juice gets in there, dude. Before he just... Oh, no, that was the Juice. New Jersey, born and raised native. Lotus Juice. Oh, one of my favorite artists, dude. God, I love Persona, but we can't just play the literal soundtrack from Persona on stream. There's no way that they're not going to strike me on that one. Okay, yeah, this is definitely just Ice Earth Crystals. I'm a little bit surprised at the inclusion of the Kefka, but the rest of the stuff, yeah. Wilk, Ice Earth, the Barts, yeah. Pretty standard stuff for this element combo for Crystal deck. June is like, is this maybe Mono Earth that's just having a really bad day? No, it's like a monster big deck, maybe Typhon, Flying Cactus. Well, I'll tell you what, June. There's a lot of yellow cards in this deck. Do we have Shantoto LB? Do we have Shantoto backup? My man is overextended. Can we just delete his forwards? Can we remove his board? Alrighty. Excuse me. Okay, so Golbez. This is definitely a monster deck. Definitely a Golbez deck. Definitely like a probably mostly mono earth, but a rainbowy thing going on here. Very interesting. We're gonna try to just go toe to toe with the removal here. So we're pitching 3 for Golbez. Golbez enters, triggers Shadow Dragon. We're gonna go get Cerberus. We're gonna use Cerberus to break the Barts. We're gonna use Shadow Dragon to break the Yazoo. And then I think we're probably gonna either attack with Zidane or pass here. It looks like probably the attack with Zidane. Yeah, check that last card in Tyler's hand. It is a Robo Akbel. He will be able to use that to just kill the Golbez or one of the monsters, so we're going to be removing that Robo Akbel from the game. Too sweet. Let Tyler draw a replacement card, and then take a point of damage. As this Zidane cannot be blocked, it is going to be Knight. So, pretty good, actually, from June here. June had the aggressive start, right? Had the damage being put on Tyler already. Tyler kind of just off of 2 backups builds a 4 forward board and says, actually, here, I'm going to try to get the crack back. I'm going to try to, like, squat up here. And then we're able to just efficiently play Golbez into 2 monsters that remove 2 of those forwards. And now, all of a sudden, our board was kind of comparably wide. Oh my goodness, this one has... Okay, so I was talking about standard things earlier. We have left the standard station. We now have Cloud Pod Cloud sitting here on the field trying to cause a little bit of ruckus. Alright, so we've got the Golbez removed, which is pretty big. Victoria LB able to just blast him. Oh, never mind. It was an attack with Golbez, and then we used Laws to pump Victoria, and then block the Golbez. Yeah. That's not great. Maybe we didn't realize the Laws had the pump there. I mean, it's a trade, so maybe we were happy with that as well. Tyler does have to play some to play some blockers right now. I mean, he's about to take. If he doesn't do anything, he's about to die. Yeah, okay, Robo Agvel, pay a crystal, and kill the Cerberus, sure. Cerberus, that's fine. Okay, so, yeah, things are looking dire once again for June. I mean, this has been a really, really weird game. Both of these players pitching their whole hand to do some weird stuff, getting these real wide boards, actually swinging back and forth as far as, like, removing each other's items. I do think letting our Golbez get traded out with the Victoria was going to a little rough for us. Maybe we had to just kind of sit there with our board and let our opponent. I don't know actually though, because now we were able to get rid of all the Final Fantasy VII guys. I mean, no, well, no, we weren't, because Cloud just killed one of them to turn it into Robo Black Belt, right? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I would have held off. Kuja comes in, and he's also going to be able to stop the attackers. So I'll tell you, if Tyler's board sits like with these forwards, if this Cloud continues to untap and do his thing, we're going to be able to stop June from just sneaking in those points of damage. In fact, it's already starting to look pretty dire. The June maybe needs to take a turn or two off, stabilize a little bit. I mean, ideally, we're able to pick off the Cloud and then take a damage or two, block a damage maybe. And try to get something going. No backups is going to be really, really difficult in a rainbow deck that looks like it's really trying to take advantage of multicolored backups, and unfortunately, we've seen none. There's one Claris here. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the other thing too. If this is like a mono Earth base, it should actually be quite easy for us to set up our backups, and we're just getting hosed here on that side of things. Having played the Leo, we have actually removed our access to the Shantoto as well. So there's not much we can do here for a full wipe. I mean, I wonder if we play backup Toto. Like, we desperately want to play backup Toto if we can survive to it. Unlikely that our opponent's going to have any counter in Ice Earth to a backup Shantoto. It's probably just going to resolve. I mean, we're also dangerously close to our opponent just dropping a Kadaj on us, and then things get really bad. We do go for a draw pass turn there from June. Trying to just build a little something back up, but man, I'm gonna imagine that, well, first of all, yeah, the Ma is pretty good. Maybe we're just gonna go with that. We're not even gonna bother with any. We don't have Kadaj, or we don't want to play him yet. Ma is gonna come down here. Yeah, how about all these guys are plus 1k Brave? So I'm just going to attack 4 times. There's not really much you can do about that. Attack with Kuja. We didn't even, but we could have, like... Actually, I'm surprised. Why didn't we Kuja dull to dull this Leo at the end of our opponent's turn? Because, I mean, I think... We could have just, like, won with... Oh, no, I guess it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and they had 2 points of damage. You could have put him to 6 with no blockers. We dull him, and then we could have dulled one of the monsters when it tried to block. I guess it's not no blockers. Let's say we're going to go to 5. The Flowering Cactoid survives. Leo survives. We are given the option to trigger our Flowering Cactoid at the end of the turn. We can put it in the break zone to deal 10,000 damage to one of our opponent's forwards. We lose a forward, but we get to kill one of their guys. Is it worth it? I don't know. It depends on what we were going to be playing this turn. It looks like we've opted not to. Or sorry, it'll be at the end of our turn, yeah. It's still our turn. Play a blue worm, draw a card. Yeah. So we're going to have some monsters here, and no doubt, like, there's a lot of efficient stuff that's going on if you actually have some backups built, or if you're able to get, like, something going. Like, if Golbez sticks, we have Witch of the Fens here. We have tons of monsters. Unfortunately, our hand is probably looking like a full bag of Skittles, man, and we just don't have the ability to play with all the colors the way that we would like to, so our hand is getting really messy. We can only do certain things, and they're not optimal things, and then we spiral. And then we spiral. What the heck? Scoop, I can't do anything. We have 5 red cards in our hand. Amaterasu's the king. Wuk Lamat. 2 Wuk Lamats, 2 Amaterasus, and an Edgar, and this is not Balatro, so that hand's not going to do anything for us. So we are going to just say I scoop, I cannot do a thing, and Tyler will get there with all those attacks next turn. It's a shame for June, but I think this one has been an impossibly difficult game for June from the get-go. You can see that the Edgars in hand there were supposed to like Claris into Edgar into some like efficient stuff. Have obviously a little bit more of a Golbez, you know, taking advantage of activating characters, doing more. It just was it was a shit showing from the deck, not so much the player at all, right? Just nothing you can do about luck sometimes here. And I'm sure the deck can do a lot more than we just saw it do. This happens. It happens. Alright, we are moving into a different table. Switching tables. By the way, this is one of my favorite parts, or places in Final Fantasy XI. I hope you guys enjoy the scenery here. Alright, table 1. Let's see what's going on over there. Dragoons versus... I'm not sure. No way! No way, dude. Is this a Goonoff? Oh, no. Okay, one of these... Okay. He Melusined his Dragoon. Okay, hold on. I'll get this on the screen. Okay. Look, at first this looked like... It looked like Goon v Goon, dude. At first it really looked that way. But then we had a Dragoon, like a 2CP Dragoon forward. We had this guy on the table. But then we graphed it, and then I saw the Melusine, and it was obvious that that was one of our opponent's Dragoons. And the Kane is, of course, ours. So it looks like Key here is playing the Kane jump deck. And it looks like we have got Dragoons being played by Armando here. Look at the Gooners, dude. That's right. Born to Goon. Damn, yeah, June, I'll tell you what, that was rough. And that's not on you at all. That was just some shit luck as far as the opening for that deck, man. Man, that was not good. Sometimes, I'll tell you, I'm typing in names for you guys, and my brain just makes up last names for you that are not. I'm sure at some point in my life I met a person that has the actual first last name combination that my brain is making up, and then I'm like, I go and I double check and I'm like, oh, that is not Armando's last name. And I will not be saying what I thought it was. But it's just funny, you know? Alright, there we go. Just in time to, to maybe not watch us pull this one out. We'll see. Kane Limit Break is going to add a Dragoon back to our hand. It can be a Freya for the Freya S. I mean, that's pretty good. So if he attempts to jump S and pays the cost, you can just kill the Kane before it resolves, and then there's no Kane. So that's why Key is going to do it here, right? So we're going to target the Freya with Kane. And we're going to say, oh, I want to get this back. And Key says, yeah, before you get that back, I'm going to jump my Kane. That way Kane can't get killed before I jump. Or in response to paying for jump. So, sure, that's fine. Kane jumps. Freya is now here. Now, we cannot respond to Kane re-entering the field at the end of the turn. So we would have to use that S ability now and kill the Graph with it if we were concerned about getting removed by the Kane. But now what's interesting here is, I don't know about attacking. Well, I guess maybe we attack, we hold priority, and we blast the Graph, because the problem is that we only have 4 Dragoons right now. So attacking with Freya is not even killing Graph, and she doesn't have first strike, so she's just going to get blocked by Graph and die. So I think we need to not let that happen. We need to use her S ability. 2,000 for each Dragoon in the break zone is more than enough to kill my man here. I actually like this really organized way that Armando has his limit break on the side. And we're just gonna block? And then we're gonna use the S before the... That's so strange. Now this Kane comes back, he breaks the Kane with first strike, and now we're just gonna win by attacking twice, right? Because, like, yeah. Interesting attack with the Freya. Like, we attacked and it doesn't kill the guy, and it forces us to use our S ability. We must have miscounted it. We had all these characters to play, we thought she was going to kill him on attack, because what we should have done is hold the S and keep Alice up. Then, when the Kane comes back at the end of the turn, we have Cloud, we have Freya, we have the other Kane. If we both jump at the end of the turn, what happens? Both of them resolve. Oh, turn player abilities always stack first. Easy peasy. So non-turn player. How does it resolve? Well, when the turn player's ability stacks first, the non-turn player's ability stacks second, so that resolves first. And is there like a secret trick question I'm missing here? If we understand how it stacks, what's confusing about how it resolves? Does turn player Kane re-enter, resolve, and then non-turn player re-enters, or do they both re-enter and then both trigger in order? Guys, no. This doesn't it doesn't randomly work differently than other things, right? So both of these guys use their ability. When the ability resolves at the end of the turn, we've got this trigger that's waiting to happen that plays Kane on the field at the end of the turn, right? So those are both hanging there. So the person who's non-turn players is resolving first. It resolves. Kane enters the field. That triggers when Kane enters the field. Choose a forward and break it. So you have to then resolve that first. Then when that's resolved, the second one will happen. And their Kane will come back into the field. And then his auto ability will trigger. If I'm turn player, mine comes in after his does, his would die, correct? We are, I mean, we're way off the deep end here. If I'm turn player, mine comes in after his does. Okay. His would die is the wrong, but guys, by the way, if you're ever asking like a ruling question, like, you're asking what order the abilities would resolve in. Saying like his would die has nothing to do with anything, because none of these abilities make your opponent's Kane die, because he might have multiple forwards. So now we're going through the, oh well, I'm using my ability to target his Kane. Like we're asking 10 different questions. If you're asking how these stack, the Kane ability fully resolves for the non-turn player when the turn player's ability stacks first. Yeah, I don't know what they're asking, dude. It just resolves in order. I like how we can, dude, people can figure out like Axstar, but this is, we're getting hung up on this for some reason. The game's already over. I understand, bro, but like, no part of Kane says kill the other Kane. Like, you didn't say if I target, can I target his Kane? Like, I don't... People gotta ask the actual question they're trying to ask, dude. No. See, Gloaming Dusk, you're telling me that that's what the question is, but that's not the question. They didn't ask the question. That's not the question that was asked. If we both jump at the end of the turn, what happens? Who comes back first? I said who comes back first. Always stack first. Then the second one resolves first. So then it says his would die. What do you mean his would die? No part of this question is like, is his Kane there for me to target? I'm trying to target his Kane with my Kane. There's like 5 things on the field. You know what I mean? His what would die? I mean, you would target it forward with his ability. That doesn't even necessarily mean it dies. I mean, usually it does. He can't respond to it or anything like that. But you know what I mean? We're asking, like, does he die? Like, that's not part of the ruling question. So when the ability for him to re-enter the field has not resolved yet, he is not on the field for you to target. If that's the question. You understand? You guys get why, like, I can try and assume what they mean, right? But, like, that's not what they're asking. So you just gotta be specific about what you're trying to ask. Does my Kane target his Kane if we both jump? But see, like, even thinking about it that way is unhelpful, right? Because if you just think about the actual rules, you'll be able to answer that question, right? So the rule is like, the turn player thing always stacks first. Turn player's effect resolves first is literally not what I ever said. That is, no one said that. Nobody said that. What are you talking about? I did not say that in the chat log. I promise you, I told them that the turn player's effect stacks first. Game is over, we're just chatting. Alright, so I think we're done with all the games then. So we are going to round 3. Yeah, not only did I not say that, I literally spelled out step by step for them how it would resolve with the non-turn player's effect coming in first, and then the turn player's effect coming after. Goodness gracious. Yeah, the non-turn player's Cane resolves. He comes in, he gets to choose whatever he wants from whatever's on the field, because that's how his ability works. Choose a forward and break it. Then that's done, and now the turn player's Cane resolves. And the turn player Cane can choose a forward that the opponent controls and break it. I presume they will control a Cane that you are interested in breaking. But, I mean, I don't, you know. His ability will then, you can then choose any of the forwards they control. He is removed from the game until his ability brings him back in, which only happens when it resolves. And you can't target anything that's removed from the game. Hopefully that is clear. Alright. 7-4 Key over Armando. Table 2 Tyler 7-3 over June. Table 3 Richie 7-0 over Greg. Table 4 Pat 7-2 over Kurt. Table 5 Anthony 2-6 over Irving. Interesting, a little mill action. Table 6 Connor 7-0 over Xavier. And Irving and Xavier both dropping, although they would have been jamming against each other anyway. Alright. Alright, pairings are going up. Alright, what are we looking at here for round 3? We've got Richie versus Tyler Ray at table 1. So Tyler we know is on Ice, Earth, Crystals, but we don't know what Richie is playing this week. Table 2, He is playing June, so June is on the pair up there, I believe. June is playing that monster deck. Hopefully it works a little bit better for them. He is on the like Oops All Cane Jumpin' Dragoons deck, the Jump Jivin' Dragoons. Alright, table 1. Richie and Tyler. Let's go check that one out. See what Richie is up to. Always happy to have Richie able to join us when he can. One of the wonderful things about being able to do this little online jam is getting a chance to play against people who maybe not only do you not get a chance to play all year, but you may never get a chance to play because of where they live. So fun to see matchups that you otherwise would never get to see. Okay, coming in to the third and potentially final round. Table 1 on the screen. Oh, baby! Richie is back with the 12 again this week. So the 12 just barely losing last week to Golbez in the finals. Back with a vengeance here. The 12 being piloted by Richie and Tyler on the bottom playing Earth, Ice, Crystals. Takes advantage of things like the new EX Burst guy that deals damage for how many crystals you have, Wilk. Takes advantage of things like the Remnants being able to be searched by Jesse, the Cryle in Earth that can search for Bards. A lot of really neat synergies in Ice, Earth with Crystal stuff. Robo Akbel, Ursula, a lot of really fun stuff. Alright, so we are doing it. We got the 3 backups that are all crystal generators. We've got the Barts out. Barts finds 2 more backups. We're going to go ahead and just jam 1 for free and then put the other one in our hand for sure. Going up to 4 backups with a crystal, and you know what the hell, looks like we're just going to play crystal backup number 5, Jessie. She's going to go and search for a remnant for us, and pretty fun that we were able to just get this all sorted. Robo Akbel is cracked if he stays on the field long enough. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I don't know that I've ever had a Robo Akbel survive for more than like 2 turns, dude. Maybe, you know, I mean, like, get 2 cards back. Like, maybe he gets a card back, and then my poor man gets escorted off the battlefield. Yeah, you cannot let that man live, dude. It's literally like, just draw a free card every turn. Very gross. Especially when there's so many crystal backups that actually have action. I don't think there's any on the field right now. Actually, I think we are backup locked right now for Tyler, but there are a lot of backups like these new ones that have some great crystal action. So you can actually snap those off, get them back, play it, snap it off, get it back, play it. Valiak, hey, we're just going to go ahead and tell our opponent to zoop a forward. He did not have... Oh, he had the Bards. We're going to just kill the Bards, draw a card for 3 CP. You don't hate that. Actually tapping and pitching to keep 5 in the grip. And actually, we're probably going to do the Naimea here to draw another card. Love that. Richie's just trying to be as efficient as possible here. Another Barts. Oh my goodness, we're able to... Now, this is the power of these remnants generating 2 at a time. Holy shit, dude. We'll talk about that guy in a second. But the power of these remnants being able to add 2 crystals at a time. Even though we had just played the Barts, you know, we replayed one of these, so we got 1 crystal back on the Barts. Slam a remnant, 2 more crystals, and then boom, Barts comes out. Barts reveals... What did we get? The Kadaj and the Yazoo to hand. And now I will talk about that Kadaj. And then we get this Prish. We're just going to go ahead and remove the forward. We've got an awful lot of stuff on Tyler's side of the table. And still has plenty of cards in hand. That's the magic of Barts and some of these efficient plays. And spending the crystals instead of cards for some of them. Richie is a man who is just looking for a Shantoto. If he's got him in his deck, he's going to slam it on the back line if he has it in his hand. If not, we're going to have to figure out a little bit of 1, 2, 3 piece removal here. There are plenty of ways to remove forwards in the 12. We've got the Earth backup that deals damage for each of the 12. We've got the Fire forward that deals damage for the 12s. So we may be able to just kind of slowly trade through these guys. But man, Tyler has got a really well-established board pretty quickly here. Very nice to see 2 Barts off the top without any searching, man. Didn't even see him off the Barts reveal. This was just a natty draw, 2 Barts. Pretty good. Oh, I didn't put the names up. I'm sorry, guys. There you go. And we did get the Alphic off of the Lunafreya. Pretty nice. So he enters the field. We choose a forward. If we have 4 more of the 12. Oh, no! We're not able to trigger that off Lunafreya because we didn't have a 4th to 12 in play. That sucks, man. We are going to play the Alphic, though. And we are going to shoot probably the Remnant or maybe the Prish for 9,000. It's tough. We are going to pick the Bards. Oh, there's no crystals, so that's fair. Just remove the 9k body. They're not going to be playing another Bards anytime soon. Killing Prish gives them another Prish to use Prish for a discount. Killing Yazoo, they're happy to play another one. He's kind of a low value threat. Lunafreya can trade with him as is. So yeah, I think killing the Bards when there's no crystals out is pretty good. We are going to play Kadaj now, and we are actually going to cancel the removal. Very clever here. Saying, yeah, well, Kadaj can enter the field, but guess what? You don't get to remove a Remnant from your discard pile, and you don't get to gain 2 crystals. So we just paid 5 CP for the Kadaj and will not be getting us crystals back. He will not be triggering that RFG. Now, he says cancel the RFG. Yes, and put that Kadaj back. So let's actually look at this Kadaj. Tyler is playing a copy of an Opus 11 Kadaj here. When he enters the field, you may search for a Remnant other than card name Kadaj and add it to your hand. When a Kadaj or a Remnant enters your field, choose a character and freeze it. So this guy is definitely just EX, find a Remnant, and just fodder for more removable Remnants. I don't know that, you know, it's super necessary, but it's interesting. So yeah, we're going to cancel that RFG. Wow, Shadow Lord coming out here. Ice, Earth, Shadow Lord. Choosing 2 characters, freezing them, and dulling them, obviously because we have 4 ice characters. Then he also gets to choose a character in the break zone. We have 4 more earth characters, so we'll add it to our hand. We may be adding one of these remnants. Yazoo is already in play. There's no laws to add back. Yeah, so I was gonna say it'd be neat to see him get there anyway, but I don't think that's gonna be the case. Viridian, thank you very much, brother, for the Submarino. Appreciate it. 40 months, dude. My goodness, we're old men. Thank you, Viridian. I appreciate you, gamer, and your support. Enjoy your wonderful breadth of high-quality Final Fantasy TCG-related emotes. Oh, we did have the totes, dude! Though, actually, let's them even commit further to the board. I probably did not have it yet. But we get to the Toto here, and this is going to be really, really good for Richie. A full reset. God damn, was that a lot of value on this little dude. Laughing all the way to the bank. Opus 1 Shantoto still just does it better than the rest, huh? We send a Yazoo, a Prish, a Kadaj, a Cloud packing. Now, yeah, can we play a Kadaj and we have 2 remnants removed from the game now? Sure. But Richie, ready to lose that last card in his hand for wiping out all of those forwards. And I think we killed a limit break forward too, so killing 5 forwards with Shantoto. Yeah, pretty fucking efficient way to play a backup, huh? Laz is going to come down and we're going to remove somebody. We're going to start that crystal generation right back up, which is important. The entire deck is built around the crystals. You need to have the crystals. And this is why crystal decks feel better. They feel so much better now than they have in the past. It's so difficult to highlight just how important it is that there are so many efficient ways to generate 2 crystals at a time now, right? It literally used to just be Lucio. You used to have the light Lucio. You would have to play, and you'd have to build your deck in this really weird way just to have him in there and generate those crystals. And the games where you got him out and you had him doing his thing, it felt so good because you felt like you had all the crystals you would need to do any of your crystal things. And the games where you didn't have him felt double crippling because you had this guy this engine that wasn't online, you didn't have enough crystals, and then you were drawing into these like subpar cards. In late game, you're drawing into these like shitty light cards when you need action the most or answers the most. Meanwhile, now we have these 3 CP cards. They're on curve. I mean, they're 3 CP 7Ks with relevant abilities, right? That generate 2 crystals when they enter the field. We've got the Yuffie that generates 2 crystals when she enters the field. And it's huge because you can see, even without a Spiritus backup refund, even without the Lucio light card in the deck, we're not leaning on a light or dark at all, which is a big deal in its own, right? We're able to play the Barts, immediately get our Barts cleared, play like a 3 CP guy, get 2 more crystals, boom, guess what? Another Bart's the next turn. That was really hard to do in the past. Like, you would get all your backup set up, you would play this really efficient Bart's, and then if you didn't have, like, the Lucio or something and they cleared the Bart's, like, it was probably another turn or 2 before you could build up the crystals to do it. And a lot of times you would, like, use the Bart's, and then on the other side of the Bart's, you would feel like you were spent on crystals. So all these crystal synergies in your deck that are firing on all cylinders when you were building the crystals in the beginning, all of a sudden you play Bart's, you spend 3, you're at 0, and all of your crystal synergy cards are just dead draws, or they don't do what they're supposed to do. So the fact that, look at him, look, he's up to 4, there we go! This is exactly what we're talking about. We're able to go up to 4 crystals out of nowhere on this turn, and just play another Bart's. And he still has cards in hand, like, yeah. Able to get a lot of crystals pretty fast, man. Feels good. And then we're going to play the Robo Akbel. Yeah, we're going to try to break this Warrior of Light. We didn't like it. Our opponent had all these colors set up, and then post Shantoto turn literally had like play 3 dudes, draws back 2 cards, and has a 10k first striker. So like Richie, meanwhile, feeling really good about that follow-up for his Shantoto turn. He placed a bunch of threats on the table that demanded an answer from Tyler. He's got more action on the table. Look at his backups drawing him cards here. And Richie, I'm a little bit more scared of the top end of what he can do versus Tyler. But Richie is actually drawing the card and passing the turn. Not really what I expected from him. 5 cards in hand. Just letting his opponent kind of get themselves into a little bit of trouble on this one. Wondering if we're going to be Amaterasuing Robo Akbel's main phase 1 trigger, but here is that is happening now. Robel trigger. Stop. Good. Imagine, dude, you're feeling so good about the Robo Akbel removal that you don't even, like, oh yeah, and he gives me free cards? Oh yeah. Wow, this Kadash is even cheaper now. So Kadash is going to be removing this this other Kadash and generating 2 crystals once again. I mean, really, the ability to just continuously develop crystals at such a good rate without having to play those other cards it cannot be ignored how different these decks are now. Richie is going to just play this Alexander to kill the Kadash. Look at that. Yeah, Richie knows exactly what's going on, right? He's got this this threat that's going to come down that's supposed to be stripping his hand. So he doesn't play out anything else. He actually draws passes there, uses the backup, goes up to 5 cards in hand, passes the turn. The Kadash comes down to try to take his hand back under those 5 cards, and he says, well, you know what, if you're going to be discarding 2 from me, I'm going to discard 2 anyway. Just cast this Alexander and kill your guy. Very interesting. So now, oh, he's playing Shinryu and searching for a Warrior of Light. I wonder if he's already got the other Shinryu in his hand, or if he just isn't even fussed about wiping this board necessarily. It's funny to see him go tap the 1 backup, pitch 2, so that he still has the 4 colors up. Go get the Warrior of Light, play Warrior of Light. I think Shinryu in general, this card is always very strong. Right now, there are a lot of really wide boards coming out of nowhere. I think that it's hard to find 3 slots for this guy. I get it. It's also difficult to choose something over a different light or dark card. But I just think the gamer that's playing 3 Shinryus, they will find themselves well served in the current meta. Sorry, I just saw that, Foxy. Excuse me, sir. I'd like to reset the board. One reset, please. Jarvis, reset the board. Oh, Noctis for days, dude. King Noctis coming down, and he is going to just pluck a remnant back from... Yeah, we just are playing this little fight back and forth. We're going to actually Leviathan the Noctis, saying, no, you are not going to get back that Kadaj. So interesting. Richie is kind of looking at the play pattern and seeing, like, oh, okay, he's trying to get that back. Like, if I cancel this, it's probably going to make it really difficult for him to... What the fuck? Damn, dude. We just did 7 CP Sephiroth. Just happened. That just happened. Anyway, Richie realizing, like, hey, the Kadaj coming back is just gross. It's like 3 different ways it's bad for me. It's this big 9k. It's going to take cards from my hand. It's going to generate him 2 more crystals. So I'm actually just going to cancel this Noctis. And then all 3 of those things hopefully don't happen. And so, nope, we only actually had 1 of those things happen. We had 2 cards get taken out of our hand from this Sephiroth. Sephiroth is a lot more manageable than the Kadaj, and he did not generate any crystals. And he also cost Tyler a lot more cards. So, if we have the Shinryu S now, this is gonna be very funny. He played into it, assuming like that he can't do it. My man's literally just got Shinryu on the table. We're going to play Bayergot. He reveals top 5 and adds a 12 to our hand. We're going to choose Ralger. Ralger is reduced by 1 for each of the 12 we control, which currently is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's a 2 CP. Big boy. Look at that. We've got exactly 2 left, although I think we're contemplating keeping these up for the can't be chosen by summons and draw a card. So we could just pitch a card, right? Or is this only... What is this? Can be paid. Okay, cool. So we can pitch a card to play him. We're just kind of figuring out how we want to do it. Oh, actually, pitching Ralger. Going for Halone here. Choose the 2 characters if you have 6 or more, drop the 12 dull and freeze them, and the opponent discards a card. So we're going to actually say we're getting rid of 2 of the biggest guys, probably Seth, yeah, and maybe the Barts. Yeah. And then the opponent is going to discard a card here. Goes down to 1. So we're just going even wider. We're saying you think you find yourself wide? Look at how wide I can get. Shinryu now attacking with Brave. Feels pretty good, especially into a Earth Ice deck. Really, the only EXs you're going to run into are card advantage EX like Kuseth. Or potentially you will hit the Wilk, this guy, who will deal 4,000 damage for each crystal. So that's 8k to somebody on the noggin, but otherwise pretty safe. So Warrior of Light and Shinryu both going to attack there with Brave. Robel Akbel now triggering for the 3rd turn. Now we talked about this, that if he triggers this many times in a row, that can get really gross. And Richie is, we see Richie did all that cool stuff to the table, right? But he's now at completely just 0 cards in hand. Whereas Tyler has now a completely full grip again, another 5 cards because of things like the Kuseth and the Robel Akbel. Robel is such an interesting card. Yeah, he is definitely sometimes that guy, and sometimes he's just like a totally reasonable removal spell, and that's fine for that to be all he is. But sometimes, I mean, he's like soloing the value match here. Also riding on top of Fenrir's head. I gotta go do this Fenrir fight in Final Fantasy 11, dude. I just did the quest to get the key item to be able to go fight him, which in order to get it, you have to go fight all of the other avatars again. And you get like their essence, and you have to have all of them, and then you combine all their essences and you get a special item to go fight Fenrir. I gotta go get him so I can fight Mott. Wherever Mott is. He's not on the table right now. Where is he? Where is he? Where is she? He's around here somewhere, dude. Mott. I gotta go get that old man. I gotta give him a beating, and I need to get Fenrir to do it, dude. Yeah, he's a removal spell. He not only gets rid of something that they played, but he kind of demands even more removal. So he is definitely more than the sum of his parts kind of thing, you know? Mott's hiding one of the limit breaks. I know for sure that Mott is at least in Tyler's deck. We saw it last round, I think. Although his LB is completely spent now, so maybe... Oh, no, it's not. It's full. Just kidding. It doesn't have a number on it because it's full. Question mark? No, he has spent it. Here's the Surges. So I don't know where Mott is. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I don't see anything here, but he's somewhere. Remember using Robel in a silly puppets deck since he can recycle the backup versions of Avjang and Nejing, dude? Yeah, to use for the S. I like the design of those cards. I thought that was cool. How you can use either of them for the S on the combined card, so then you can actually go and fill your deck with like, and they're like technically different names, so you could play all these different copies and take advantage of them in these different ways. I thought that was really creative design, and it's a little. I wish that we had done that with somebody else somewhere. I mean, I know we have Snow and Lightning and Unit and Titus. They're not quite the same, as that feels like it's more of a design meant to restrict you than it is a design meant to open up the deck building creativity. Yeah, dude, for sure. I will say that the treasures characters in Final Fantasy 11, or sorry, the treasures characters in FFTCG could get a little bit more love. All right, we're sure given a lot of. Look, I love COP love. I love COP love. All right, Prish, Olmia. I like these characters, but I need a little bit more treasures love. I just need it. I'm just a boy who's looking for love, dude. Boom, 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 boom. Dude, the boards just get wider and wider. One day my man's gonna draw another copy of Shidryu, right? Like, this is such a crazy game of chicken to be playing while this is on the table, but what else is he gonna do? Passes the turn and discards 2 more cards from Richie. Richie, top deck that Shidryu. Pitch 4, pitch a... There it is, baby, dude. I'm like, this is a dangerous fucking game, man. Tap 4, pitch a card. Shidryu S. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See ya. Yeah, what are we gonna... We're Kusa thing? Yeah, you got it, buddy. Sure. He's gonna use... I mean, this is clever. Kusip Toto. Use Toto's action ability to dull all the forwards so that we don't just die. But yeah, the problem is Tyler still has to do 7 points of damage, and my man has 9 cards left in his deck. Richie, absolutely very, very powerful there, having... very, very powerful. Having Shidryu just sitting there waiting. This is the Prish God. We should have been desperately searching for something like this Prish or something to remove that Shinryu. The fact that he was just able to sit there. Well, that's exactly it, right? Is if you truly had no way to remove it, you had to just cross those fingers and hope like you were going to get away with it, man. What else are you going to do? We're not really in a situation where the only winning move is ever not to play. Like, you gotta play. Warrior of Light attacks, holds priority, 5k, pings the Cloud Pod. Yeah, unfortunately, Warrior of Light and Cloud Pod do not get along very well there. Warrior of Light is cruising. Richie says, what a game. Yeah, this has been actually incredible and very fun to watch. Azaima getting to blow up the Prish. And here comes Shinryu for that last point of damage. Congratulations to Richie with the 12 there. Very, very cool, man. What a cool game. Way back and forth. I mean, the boards are getting wider and wider and wider. And if you're Tyler, you just got to keep playing like he doesn't have it. If you're Richie, you're just like, Shinryu, please, Shinryu, please, Shinryu, please, Shinryu, please. I was saying you had everything when you needed it. You had everything when you needed it, says the guy who had the windmill slam turn two Barts in a row off the perfect backup setup early. He had crystal backup, crystal backup, crystal backup Barts, who developed another crystal. Then the following turn, he had the Barts immediately removed, got a remnant. Remnant removes for 2 crystals and a remnant gone. Then hits Barts number 2 immediately without searching for either Barts. So my man also had what he wanted when he needed it. Shinryu was clutch. Yeah, I mean, honestly, having the Shinryu, pretty powerful. Could bounce it and make you discard it. Yeah, maybe we do that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, these guys are talking through the game now. Very interesting. Let's go to table 2 and see what's happening over there. That's our pair down. So depending on how that's going, switching tables here. Let's go to the 12. Yeah, I mean, hey, yeah, good news for those people who like the out-of-the-box decks, dude. Richie did have, I think that, you know, you're playing into the 12 deck like it's not going to have the cancels. Richie cleverly holding that first Leviathan for, like, letting the Bartses go and then using it on the Remnant, I think is smart. Having that second Leviathan to stop the Kadash from coming back. Like, Tyler just being a little bit stuck on action there. Needing to, like, Noctis it back even though he's got a full hand of cards. Richie saying, like, I think canceling this will make his turn weird. And then Tyler having, like, a 6-card hand. Not being able to just develop the Remnant he wants to. Has to pitch the whole thing into a Sephiroth. And then you do the Sephiroth into a board that has the Shinryu on it. So at that point, you've got your fingers crossed and you're praying, dude. You're like, man, I sure hope attacking his hand with these 2 discards and this other stuff just stops him from being able to do it, right? But was not the case. Okay, let's go to this game. That's the one deck I lost against today, so I can't be too mad. Oh, against the 12? Hey, you know? Richie's got the sauce, man. What can I say? Okay, here we are, looking at our table 2. This one, if Key wins this one, then we have a tiebreaker game. If June wins this one, then the day is won by the 12. Key is playing the Jump Dragoon deck that is basically focusing on this Kane jumping over and over and over. Effectively dodging your opponent's ability to remove your best guy while simultaneously removing their best guys with that ability. So like, it's cool because he uses the ability to protect himself. Like right now, let's say, right, Phoenix is trying to kill Kane, so we paid 4 to try to remove the Kane, right? We're going to say, well, I'm actually just going to use this S, and then Kane's going to get removed from the game. And then at the end of the turn, Kane will just come back. And so Kane will still be there, right? We didn't remove the problem. And now Kane's just going to remove one of our guys. So we basically paid... we got the card out of his hand, sure, right? But it doesn't actually solve, like, the issue. Now, moving the Kane out of the way as a blocker was part of our plan here. So we're saying that's fine. The jump is good. We're going to attack with Cerberus. The Kukulane is going to trigger. We're going to choose which of the Fens, and we are actually going to be able to draw a card off of that because of that with the Lena here from June. So that's pretty nice. June maybe is going to appreciate having something in hand. If it's a character of 2 or less, we even can do like some cheeky Edgar stuff on their turn. So the Kane comes back in and he's going to kill the Witch of the Fens, of course. So now Kane, again, one of the things about the Kane, right? So Kane comes back in. And he's still here, and he's still got 9,000 power, and First Strike and haste. Whether or not he had haste, he still is coming in at the end of the turn, so he's got that like ability to come back and attack anyway. We're playing Water Alphino. Draw 2 cards, discard a card. Interesting. We are actually at damage 5, so he gets that gross second ability where you just get to choose 4 or less and play it. Playing Irvine, yeah, I mean that could be a pretty quick way to a GG. Irvine is going to have haste, and he's going to be keyword large. Phoenix can actually step in front of him. Leo can step in front of Kane. So Key does need to remove 1 more forward, but he's got so many cards in his hand. Oh my god, he does need to remove 1 more forward to get the W here. Oh, he was still, yeah, so now we play Spectral Keeper, and that's just going to let us dull the Leo, yeah. Hopefully we've got a character too. Do we have a blue worm or something we can play off the Edgar? We're going to attack with Irvine, remove 2 cards. Warrior of Light and Wook Lamont. Show me the Edgar snap, dude. Show me the 2 CP character in hand. I mean, we are going to block with Phoenix on the Irvine. Snap Edgar. Yes! Yes! Edgar snap, dude. Marlboro is unfortunately not that guy. Oh well. I appreciate you and doing it for the entertainment value, for the but no, it's Marlboro. I was so excited. Okay, so we do have a tiebreaker. We have a rematch from last week, and Key's changed his deck. Richie is looking for blood. We've got Kristoff Irvine haste, but I think you still have it. Oh, by removing the cards to activate the Phoenix. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Well, we're going to a tiebreaker then. So let me get these guys queued up. Oh, well, thank you. Hey, enjoy your evening. Thanks for hanging out with us and playing, as always. I'm sure this tiebreaker will be up shortly. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Almost level 63, Remage soloed all of level 61 and 62 here. At 63, we can go to Sky. That's where Kieran and the gods are. We can get some of the XP parties up there. It should be pretty quick and easy peasy. Then we're only 3 levels away from 66. Then we only have 1 job left, folks. Then we get our Mott's cap. That means nothing to most of you. Who's ready for Dublin? What's Dublin? Materia Cup. They have a Materia Cup in Dublin this weekend. Oh, sick. That's pretty hype. I mean, I'm not ready for it, as in I'm not going to be playing in it, but I am prepared to watch it. Let's do it. Dude, that's exciting. The Dublin Materia Cup. This also seems like a fun... Oh. Fucking California. Not like the real Dublin. I was like, damn, that's cool. The Dublin, Ireland Materia Cup. It's still Dublin. Yeah, I mean, sure. That's like, it's like when people say, Broadway. And you're like, dog, we all know where Broadway is. I understand that this street in Nashville is named Broadway, but like, let's be real. Dublin. Yeah, okay, sure. It feels like you're supposed to say Dublin, California every time that you say, or you're supposed to just say like the California MC. I get it though. It is in Dublin. You're right. It's me. I am the ignorant one. Alright, well, have fun with that, dude. That'll be a good time. Good luck to everybody playing in the Dublin Materia Cup this weekend. How many people, I wonder, I know that's like one of the only ones that didn't sell out, right? I'll be curious to see. Be curious to see. Alright. Is this rematch ready for me? I see the tiebreaker is still looking for its gamer. Let's see, Richie's got the room up. Maybe Key taking a little water break, taking a little bathroom break. As the other scores are rolling in, I guess I can go ahead and plop those into the tournament software. Let's see, table 1, we had Richie take that one 7-0 over Tyler. Although it's crazy because that makes it seem like the game wasn't close, but it was a really cool back and forth. Table 2, Key 7-5 over June. Actually kind of shocked Tyler never got like a point in there, you know, somewhere. Table 3, Connor had that on 7-2 over Anthony. Table 4, Greg took a 7-1 over Pat. And table 5, Kurt. Kurt reported, but Armando took a 7-0 over Kurt. Okay. So that's actually, the entire round is done. And we are just waiting for this tiebreaker to happen. And it looks like the room is now open. So let's get in there. Let's do the thing, folks. Let's wrap this one up. Tiebreaker for Rory Turner's Hideout number 338. It is a rematch of the finals from last week. However, not exactly the same archetypes against each other. Richie is running it back after getting second place last week. He is here hungry for his W with the 12. Key is here to put his hand on that chest and keep his face at the top. So you're not getting in here with those shoes and holding his King of the Hill position here with Water Lightning. This week it is a Dragoon, or sorry, it is a Cane. It is technically a Dragoon, yes. It is a Cane deck. All about jumping, jiving, dude. He jumps, he jives, and then he wails. Meanwhile, Richie over here is playing the 12 again. As he did last week. Did very well with it, but lost to Key piloting a Golbez deck. Water Lightning based Golbez deck last week. That was I believe the deck list played by the Jellyfish guy himself in Kansas. Key was just picking it up and giving it a spin. This week, Key is playing another deck that was played at that event. I actually played against this deck in Swiss. It was really neat. This Water Lightning Cane deck, where they just keep jumping Cane over and over again. It can get quite frustrating. We actually started with a fucking Byrgot rip off the top, and that's not good, man. You hate to see it. Did we at least find a backup to add to our hand? Does he let you get a backup? Add job to 12. Okay. Did we find a backup? Can I take both Sob? What did we have? Warrior Light, Menfina, Ralger. He wanted to take he wants to take the Menfina and the Ralger. Or both Menfinas, maybe he meant, so that he could play one. That sucks. So yeah, finally seeing some damn backups. Takes a Menfina, pays 2 to go get Limlane, so he now has the color fixing sorted. Now the colors are not so weird, and all of a sudden things are starting to click, right? We're able to pitch and play Althic. Althic we have 4 Job to 12, so that's 9,000 damage to Irvine, and it's just gonna clean him up nice and easy. All of a sudden it went from, oh no, we're so screwed, to, oh, we are so back on Richie's side of the table. Man, that is just the 12's power. Once you get that multicolor fixture online, all the awkwardness of the colors just kind of melts away from the deck there, besides things like the Warrior of Light. And we're able to just live our best life and pay for everything. So our backups get a little unfucked, right? We're able to pay for this Earth guy right away. It actually removes the forward as well. Now we can just continue building. Yep, this is going to be the backup that draws us a card. We're going to now attack with Virgot, and yeah, things are actually looking quite good here for Richie. Oh, I'm not attacking. So Water Lightning, very high EX count. I mean, you're looking at all three of your opponent's backups, and you see King of Burmecia, Reeve, and Lena. So I actually like Richie deciding that attacking and giving Key a free card here is going to be pretty dire straits for him, so he'd rather make him pay nice and honest for something, and it seems like he actually has a little bit of an awkward turn. He just plays Tros and passes. So I think Richie making the right call, not giving him a free card last turn. Now he attacks, he hits Sarah into damage. Hey, we dodged the EX, but also I think at this point, after you see him skip an entire turn effectively, like just playing Tros and passing is really, really rough. When Key's now the tempo has totally flipped, right? And Richie is on the beatdown here. To the point where he's about to play this like a tempo Shinryu and go just get the next best 12 character. And Key is like, oh shit, man, I needed to build. I didn't actually get to build. Now Richie's both building and out-aggressing me. He kind of really needed Richie to attack, and this will just get like a ba-ding, a Reeve, or a search, or a draw a card, or something. And instead, now Richie doesn't give him that little extra advantage on the turn where he needed it most. Is able to finish his build. Actually develop the Halone, Dull Freeze, two characters, two of these lightning backups, and make our opponent discard a card, taking Key's hand from 3 to 2. His hand is already low enough that it's probably not full of things he would like to discard. Him moving Alena to his discard pile and saying, like, just this S is not a realistic thing to hold on to right now. Man, I think that was a really good turn from Richie. I mean, Richie finishes building his backups, gets 3 forwards down. I mean, he already had the 1, but he gets, you know, a total of 3 dudes. And is just going to start wailing here. Now we're going to take our opponent maybe to 2 damage and pause, because we do have this Tros. No, actually, because we get to, when she attacks, you also do it. This is disgusting. Sorry, I don't play a lot of the 12. We're going to Dull Freeze Lena and the Tros, so Tros doesn't attack. We're going to happily go to 3+ damage here. Shinryu's going to attack with Brave, put him to damage 3. Virgot probably coming across the goal line for damage 4, just to put our opponent in that check position. We want to develop another forward or 2. Even right out of the LB feels pretty good. We're actually just going to pass it. No, we're gonna take it slow. Kane's going to come in, he's going to kill one of these. You got to kill the Halone. It's pretty funny how backbreaking it is if that thing keeps attacking. It's kind of like Seymour without paying the extra. And he's sitting here like, damn, dude, I just wish this guy would attack me a little more. I wish he would give me some EXs. Richie's saying, no. The card quality on cards with EX in the corner is lower because they have an EX in the corner and have a potential free effect. He's going to make his opponent play all of those cards for less efficiency than they could potentially have. Meanwhile, he's going to be milking maximum efficiency out of all of his cards and combos. Because that's just what the 12 does once it gets going, once it's online. Really, being able to find the ice backup. Menfina, probably the single best card to find when you're as screwed as he was at the beginning of this game, off that Virgot. Finding that and getting the limb lane right away, and then boom, we're online. Turns a bad start into a pretty decent start. And it is going to be, Wind-Cane, yeah. We're going to use the S ability again. We are going to just zoop Cane out of there. Naimea is going to draw a card for us here. Now Kane comes back and is going to kill the Shinryu. Yeah, so that's what happens is the Kane jumps, he comes back, he kills something for free. That was Key's turn. Alright, so Richie's turn now. He had his Shinryu removed. He had his... who else did he have down? He had Shinryu... Oh, the Halon got killed. Guess what? He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Shinryu is going to come out, and it honestly might just be... Is he going to go get another Halon? Because it takes that last card... Oh, well, Warrior of Light. Yeah, never mind. I would say it does take that last card out of Key's hand, but... Warrior of Light does this, and then we can actually play Noctis and Halon. Oh, so he's saying hold on, he has a response to the Warrior of Light. Richie puts the card back. Richie needs to tap all of his things. Yeah, so Key has a response. It might literally just be another jump. He wants to get the Kane out of there before it can get killed. Yeah. So he's saying before any untaps, I'm just gonna jump. And Richie's like, okay, untap draw. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, like, well, yeah, maybe that's what Key is sitting there thinking, like, oh, if he plays the, he searched, what did you search for? He searched for Warrior Light, yeah. Key's like, oh, I don't want him to do something that's going to kill the Kane in response, so I'll just jump it now. Richie's saying, ah, so sorry. Now, is he going to say he had a response also? I never realized this. What did we not realize? I clicked play from deck, but you wouldn't know if it's from hand or deck. Oh, okay. He's saying that he thought he would know because he played it out of the deck. That's what he searched for also. But no, he's just like, okay, I'm just telling you I did because it didn't show it in the army. Would this deck be considered Army of Kane? Yes, it is basically Army of One, except it's a different one. You know, it's just Kane. Oh, she's scatting, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we've got the Thaliac now. We're just going to say, why don't you sack it forward and I'll draw a card. So at this point, we're just going to overwhelm him with just like stuff. He's got no cards. He's just got this jumping Kane. The Tros is going to bounce something back to hand, and then that's going to draw him a card. Sure, that's fine. Oh, actually, well, that's gross. Ultimisha comes in and chooses a character, returns it back to owner's hand. It's going to be the Nalthal. We're going to play Nalthal to choose the job of the 12 in the break zone and play it on the field. We're going to replay Halon. We're going to freeze the Tros and the Lena. Very strong play here. Very interesting. Ultimisha. Also, shout-outs to the RV Returners spoiler from Opus 13. Ultimisha, dude. Ultimisha is going to come in and return that character back to hand. Nalthal comes back. We play the Nalthal back onto the table. We get the Halon for free. Halon is going to just say, don't freeze both of those things. Very, very cool. And there's this is exactly why we had been careful about attacking, right? It's a value EX. It's all of a sudden, Key goes from having no cards at all to having a card of his choice from the top three, and that's a very big difference in a no card hand and a some card hand. No, but we are going to just keep swinging for the fences, putting Key to 6 damage, having a 6 forward threat, and he has now a Kane entering the field and 3 total cards to do something with, and he's got an awful lot of shit to stop. I think Richie's feeling pretty good here that he's put him in a impossible position. Let's see if Key has anything to wiggle out of this one. I mean, even one of the most efficient things you can do in the game, like a Shinryu, we don't have the cards to afford, right? 2 CP, play the thing, go get a Shinryu copy, we can't pay 6, so I don't know what he's going to do to get through this. In fact, he doesn't have anything. He just takes a 7-point damage and says GG, making Richie the winner this week on the 12. The 12 coming back a week after getting 2nd place and finishing their plate, getting that full victory. 4-0 on the 12 this week for Richie. And now Key and Richie 1-1 against each other in the finals these last 2 weeks. Will we see them face off next week against each other in some kind of crazy tiebreaker? Who knows? But For now, congratulations to Richie for taking it tonight with the 12, man. Very neat to see. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned in as we went through 4 extra cool rounds of Final Fantasy TCG tonight. We will be back. I guess there's a Materia Cup this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, but I assume the Materia Cup starts kind of late because it's over in California. So we probably will have a coffee and bullshit Sunday morning. I know I wanted to bring it back last week, but I just was busy. I was a busy bee. I was up late Saturday, and that's just how it had to be, okay? Just how it had to be. We had a hockey game. Anyway, go Canes. We will be here with Coffee and Bullshit on Sunday, and then we'll be back with another stream next Wednesday. Other than that, folks, adios, ta-ta, tutu, bye-bye for now. Thank you for tuning in, and we're gonna go do the thing. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye.